Hello, everyone, and welcome to part two of Discovering Plant Wisdom with me, Juliette Bryant. Lovely to see so many of you again this evening. So today we're going to take this plant wisdom and we're going to look at it in another light. We're going to take it deeper. So yesterday we looked at how we can work with plants medicinally, nutritionally. We also connected into the song of the plants, which was so beautiful to listen to that. If you are listening to this and you haven't listened to part one, please do check out part one. It was a beautiful session, so do have a listen to that. But today we're going to be looking more at the spiritual side of things, diving into that, and we're going to be examining a few more plants. So yesterday we talked about garlic, we talked about hollyhocks, so we're going to be talking about a few others today, so that's great. So I asked the question to share in the chat yesterday. I put to you guys, did you notice after the session any of the plants? I asked you in the session to have a look in your environment. Is anything jumping out to you? Is anything trying to talk to you? So someone said, I noticed lots of wild yarrow now gone to seed growing locally. Someone said, I enjoyed the replay this afternoon. Thank you. Someone said, I've always wondered what valerian looks like. I know it grows in the UK. I make up my own sleepy tea. Today a picture of valerian jumped out at me. Whoa, I know this plant so much and never knew about it. Never knew it though. Brilliant. So yeah, the yarrow is incredible. Yarrow is something that I use in my pain balm. It's an incredible plant. You can use the flowers, you can use the leaves. Yarrow is amazing for stopping blood, so stopping a wound. So you'd put it on a cut or a graze and it would help it seal up. But yarrow also energetically. So we're talking about plants working not just physically, but they're working on this wider scale where they're working energetically with us too. So yarrow has the ability to seal holes in our aura. So we have this electromagnetic field around us, and so often we leak energy through it. And so one of yarrow's beautiful gifts is it helps us to mend those holes. So you can put some yarrow into a spray bottle with water and then just spray it around your body like an aura spray. And that's going to help you to seal any holes where you're leaking out energy. So Jeff, maybe yarrow is calling to you because you need to work on your boundaries. That's one of the things it helps with. So I'm not sure if that feels relevant, but maybe sit with the yarrow, sit with the flowers. You can make beautiful tea with the flowers as well. Very good for coughs as well. So maybe you can sit with it and ask it what it wants to say to you. Someone said they noticed cyclamens. Yes, cyclamens are beautiful to me. They're always such a sign of bright color when there's not much color anywhere else. Valerian is an incredible plant. Now there's two valerians. There's the red valerian, which is not medicinal, or there's the actual valerian that we think of that has the sedative effects. Incredible for helping someone feel calm and relaxed. It's very, very soothing. And yesterday we were talking about this medicinal properties of plants and how we have the medicinal properties, and so often then pharmaceuticals take it on board, synthesize it and make medicines out of it. So valerian, what does it sound like? Valium. So that's where they got Valium from, was from valerian. So if you want the natural version of the Valium, that soothing, calming, sedative feeling, then valerian is the way to go. And I like to mix, I've got a beautiful tea I make, which is hawthorn, valerian, chamomile, because chamomile is very soothing and calming. And we're going to be talking about chamomile more later. I put some hibiscus in it as well. Lemon balm, again, very soothing and calming. And hemp leaf. So that's a really beautiful tea for that calming, chill out, sleepy time thing. So yeah, someone said I had a lovely walk this afternoon with my favorite tree. The Acer reached out as I walked to her. As I stroked her elegant trunk, her energy lifted me up and I felt happier. I've never had such a beautiful meditation with the trees as we did yesterday evening. Just amazing, Juliette. Thank you. I'm so pleased. You know, it is such a joy for me to share with you guys my love of the earth. And that's why I'm doing this, because I really want to share that love, that connection that I feel. And part of one of the things that I feel is so important, that we're in this changing time. There's a lot of turbulence economically, financially, all the wars going on. There's so much shifting happening around us. And for me, this is the perfect time that we can return back to the source of life and actually start to recharge and renew from the source. And society has got to the point where it got so clever. We used to grow organically, we used to make our own food, we used to make our own clothes, everything was done ourselves. And then we got to this point in society where when you did those things, you must be poor because you wouldn't have enough money, because if you had money you wouldn't do that. So processed food came in, and it was something that wealthier people did. They bought processed food because they had that money, because it was a status symbol. They bought clothes, they didn't have to make them anymore. So we went from living very much close to the earth to moving away and it being a status symbol to be that further away from the earth. So having that connection to the earth is so important. And now we're doing that full cycle where we're coming back into it, and we're realizing actually what values we need to have, what is important. And I think for a lot of people, over the last few years, it's been a really important time of reevaluation, looking at what is important, what do I want out of my life. And people had that, it was forced on them that opportunity to slow down and reevaluate. And for me, I always look at the silver lining. There's always goodness that comes out of rubbish. So we were locked away, but what it did was it brought people closer to the earth, which is amazing. It made people look at their lives and go, do I really want to keep working like this, or do I want to live in a more simple way, maybe pull back some of my finances and live more connected to the earth? So this is really what this is all about. How can we live more connected to the earth, and what is the earth trying to tell us? As I mentioned yesterday, I was calling this plant wisdom, but what I really realized was it's not plant wisdom, it's earth wisdom. And that was such a profound thing, and it's really been sinking into me more and more over last night and today, this shifting, that actually what I'm teaching isn't just about the plants, it's about the seasons, it's about us getting in touch with the earth's wisdom, what the earth is calling us to. And this consists of working deeply with the plants, but it also consists of us really stepping into that space of knowing that we are all stewards of the earth. We are all the earth wisdom keepers. We are all here to remember this deeper connection. And so if you don't get anything else out of this, I hope that that message really sinks in and you really feel that strongly in your being. One of the things we're going to do, and we're going to start with this, is we're going to do a little meditation, a different one from yesterday, just to really bring us into our hearts and really connect us into the earth. I think it's so important, we can talk, I can talk for England, as some of you know who have done lots of my things. I can talk and talk and talk, but when you feel and you experience, and though for those of you who watched the replay of yesterday or who were on yesterday's, hopefully you were able to experience the sounds of the earth. Hopefully you were able to connect into that feeling. And then everything I say is so much deeper and has a deeper resonance, because then we're in line. We're all shifting our vibrations inwardly. Someone just said Glennie Kindred has a beautiful book called Earth Wisdom. Highly recommend. I've not read her Earth Wisdom book. I've got her Book of Trees, which is beautiful. And I've got her Celebrations. She writes beautiful books about honoring the celebrations. And Glennie Kindred is a lovely, incredible, wise woman, and amazing being. I've had the honor of hearing her talk and sing at festivals in the past and reading her books. So thank you for sharing that. So what I want you to do, I'm just going to explain this to you first so that you understand this concept before we then do the meditation, so you get it. So we're going to do a breathing exercise, and what we're going to do is, as we breathe, we're going to breathe down into the earth, and we're going to imagine that we're breathing all the way down to the earth. Okay, so we're breathing down to the earth, and then we're going to bring that breath of the earth up through the front of our body, all the way up to above our head into the cosmos. And then as we breathe out, we're going to breathe out and bring the cosmos down the back of our body into the earth. So the inhalation, we pull up from the earth, we breathe up the earth, up, 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 up into the cosmos. Exhalation, we breathe down the cosmos into the earth through the back. Does that make sense to everyone? So inhalation through the front of body, earth connecting to cosmos. Exhalation, cosmos connecting to earth. And then we're going to bring in the center of our heart in the middle of these two connections. So earth and cosmos connection. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. If it doesn't, just put your hand up or type it in the chat so I can explain it better. Someone said, yes, so right, Juliette. We are all old souls who have reincarnated this time to remember all that we have forgotten and bring back our incredible gifts step by step. Exactly. We're bringing it back. We are remembering who we are. We're remembering our place on this earth so that we can be these beautiful beacons of light to bring others in. That is the aim. So does everyone get the meditation that we're about to do? Thumbs up if you do. Great. Thumbs up. Amazing. Okay. So just getting yourself comfortable and connecting into your breath. Just allowing your breath to be slow and steady. Not controlling it, but just allowing your breath. Bringing your mind into this space now, into this present moment. And with each breath, feel yourself sinking more into your body, becoming more present with this moment in time. Slow, deep breathing into the body, letting go of any stresses, any strains of the day, bringing yourself more and more with each breath into your physical body. We have incarnated in this physical body for a reason, and it's so important that we feel and we connect to our physical body. So just taking a moment to feel your body. How does it feel right now? Scanning your body from top to toe and just having an awareness of how you feel right now. Not judging, just being aware. And then just taking a moment to be grateful to this beautiful body, this body that has held you, supported you, nourished you, been the home to your soul. This body that is here to help you fulfill your soul's purpose. Just having a thought of gratitude for all that your body does for you. And as you feel your body, become aware of the earth underneath you, whether it's the earth through a chair or a cushion or a bed. Just noticing the space underneath you that the earth holds. And with each breath, feel yourself starting to melt into the earth, feeling the earth just embracing you, holding you. It's like the earth has scooped you up underneath and is just holding you so you can let go, so you can release, so you can relax, so you can drop into yourself, knowing that you are held, knowing that you are safe. And in this beautiful, safe, connected space, I want you to bring your awareness to the center of the earth and to your breath. breathing up as if you're breathing from the center of the earth all the way up the front of your body, breathing up that one breath up into the cosmos, and just suspending your breath, that earth breath in the cosmos, connecting the earth with the cosmos. And as you exhale, feel that cosmic energy coming through down the back of your body, deep into the earth. And holding your breath deep in the earth as you feel the earth and the cosmos mingling together. Divine Mother, Divine Father, Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, merging. And then breathing up again, that energy of the earth moving through your body, the front of your body, all the way up into the cosmos. And holding your breath, suspending it up in the cosmos, and again feeling this merging, this mingling of energies. And then breathing out, exhaling down the back of your body, the cosmic energy flooding the back of your body into the earth. And just carrying on this breath in your own time. Breathing up, feeling that earth energy moving through your body as you breathe in from the earth. And holding at both points in the earth and in the cosmos. And feeling that merging of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the earth and the cosmos. Feel the grounded strength of the earth as it moves with your breath, strong breath moving up through your body. And feeling the light, airy, etheric quality of the cosmos as it rains down on you as you exhale. And just keep this cycle of breath, creating this beautiful egg around your body. Feeling this energetic space being created around you, this space of perfect balance between the earth and the cosmos, with you in the center. And then bringing your awareness away from your breath a little bit, allowing it to still carry on, and having an awareness in the back of your mind of this cyclical breath, of this connection, but bringing your awareness into your heart and feeling yourself sat in the center of your being, in your heart space. And in this heart space, you're aware of the dancing of these energies of the earth and the cosmos, with you sat in the center. And as you sit in your heart space, so a plant or a mushroom or a tree comes into your awareness. Their being, their form, whether it's in physical form or light form, comes into your heart space. And it may be that you're aware of it through a smell or a sense or just a word. Or it may be that you see it right there in front of you. And this plant is here to communicate with you right now. It wants to share its essence with you. If you would like to share with this plant, tree, or mushroom. So the invitation is to embrace this energy and feel how your field interacts with the field of this plant, tree, or mushroom. And invite this plant, tree, or mushroom to offer you a gift of how it would like to work with you. And you may have an image of yourself having a bath with this plant or drinking a tea, or you may have an image of being sat meditating, or a smell of working with the essential oil of this plant. or nothing may come to you right now, and that's okay too. Just be open to the experience or any vibration, anything wanting to come through in this moment. And then giving thanks to this beautiful plant for coming into your space, returning your awareness to your body, to your breath, to this cycle of breath moving around, connecting you with the earth and the cosmos. Feeling your beautiful divine place within this cycle. Feeling that beautiful dance within yourself of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And just having an awareness now of your body again, as you did in the beginning. How is your body feeling? Is there a difference from earlier? How is your mind feeling? And again, just having a thought of gratitude for your body, for your mind, for your being, for taking this step into opening up to your connection with the earth, for opening up your hearing like a radio, to hear what the plants and trees and mushrooms want to communicate with you in this moment. And then slowly, when you're ready, bringing your awareness back to this space now, to this moment, breathing deeply into your body. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and taking a moment to write down anything that came to you, any feelings, any awareness. And if you want to share them in the chat, then please feel free to. So if anyone would like to share their experience in the chat, then please feel free to. Any plants that came or how you felt with that breath. Were you able to do that breath, and what did that feel like as you were cycling that breath between the earth and the cosmos? For me, it's such a beautiful thing. I absolutely love doing that breath. And it's something you can do very quickly at any point, breathing like that, which can, I find, really change my state and bring me back into balance if I'm feeling out of balance, because it brings me back into my place, this balance between these two celestial bodies, the earth, which is holding me, and the cosmos, which has this beautiful energy of inspiration and connection. And just allowing me then to move from a space of the heart, which is a really beautiful thing. Someone said, I saw a big, beautiful yellow mushroom. I felt it was giving me a lot of love and positivity. Amazing. That's beautiful. And yellow is the color of the solar plexus, which is all about joy and self-esteem and self-worth. So that yellow mushroom, you said, bringing you love and positivity. It's that openness of the solar plexus. So that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Someone said, saw lungs, purple thistle and breath. Weeping willow, sitting under the canopy, meditating and drinking tea. Beautiful. Lovely. Someone said, I didn't so much connect to a plant or tree, but more with the whole of the earth. Beautiful. My feet grew golden roots connecting me to the earth with the roots going all the way down into the core where I connected with others. Beautiful, thank you. Someone said it was beautiful. Someone else said rose, a soft pink colour around it, a sense of softness and peace. Lovely, beautiful. Thank you guys for sharing. So for me, when we can experience, that's the really important thing. Someone just said connected to roses after you said about the scent. It's amazing, isn't it, that even in meditation we can breathe in the smell of something. I don't know if any of you have experienced that, where you've been sat in a room and suddenly you get a smell of a plant out of nowhere. It's like, why can I suddenly smell like a perfume? Why can I suddenly smell a plant? And some people say, you know, they smell their parents, or they smell something associated to a memory of those who have gone before. And it's that kind of remembrance, which is such a beautiful thing. Other times it can be, you know, that plant is coming to talk to you. It's giving you the energy you need. Because as we said yesterday, everything is vibration. So we can bring in the energy that we need whenever we need it. Someone said, was a great space to be in. Thanks. Brilliant. I'm so pleased. That's really wonderful. So we can get these beautiful experiences, and it doesn't have to be complicated or long. For me, this is the really important thing. We don't have to sit and go for an hour or for 2 hours before we get deep insights. We can get deep insights like that. It just takes that instant connection and alignment, and we can do it through song. We can do it through umming. We can do it through mudras. We can do it through the earth. We can do it through breath. So many different ways. It's finding about what works for you to bring you into that space quickly. Someone said another very powerful meditation. Yes, it balanced me and my heart center opened. As you instructed, I asked what I needed. Incredibly, the following mushrooms appeared to me under my favorite tree. The names are turkey tails, lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi, chaga. I don't know much about them. They want to work with my body for better health. So what do you think? Blessings. Beautiful. In fact, all of those are in my mushroom tincture. So that's a really simple way if you want to work with all of them. They're all in my mushroom tincture, so you can just start adding that to things, and then you've got all of those. You won't find all of those around in nature. So lion's mane is very hard to get. It's on the endangered list in this country, so you can't actually forage it. Reishi, we can find the artist bracket, which is this one here. This is a beautiful artist bracket, and you can find that in this country all around. I've got a picture of me sat on a massive one. It's about 3 times this size, and they're so hard, you know, incredible. Cordyceps, again, you're not going to really find that as something that you would grow, but have a look at my mushroom tincture, because that's going to be really beneficial. But that's beautiful that all of those things wanted to work with you. They're beautiful, powerful mushrooms. I could talk all day about those mushrooms. They're my favorite ones. So birch polypore as well. Someone else said Bellbine, ache over left hip, anxiety, fear. Not sure what you mean. So did you feel anxiety and fear? You had a ache over your left hip. If you breathe into it, hopefully that will help that to ease. But it's good that those things come up, because they're in your body and they're wanting to be worked with. Someone said, thank you for the meditation. You're right. It takes seconds to move into a different sensation and connect. So it said tide. I'm not sure what that means. So maybe you can elaborate, because I'm not too sure about what that's meaning. Okay, so thank you all for sharing your experiences, and we can, at the end, if you've got a longer thing that you want to talk about, we can unmute at the end with the questions, so you could always ask questions then. What I wanted to talk about really right now is, you know, we spoke yesterday about the nutrition, we spoke about the medicinal benefits, but also the spiritual wisdom of the plants is so profound. It's such a deep part of this journey and this information. And when we look at many indigenous and spiritual traditions worldwide, they recognize the profound wisdom of the plants. It's in our more modern time that we've switched off from this deep connection that we've always had with these plants. So traditional Uses often involved psychoactive plants such as ayahuasca, peyote, psilocybin, and it was often in sacred ceremonies that these were used to gain this insight, this healing, this connection to the divine, and this wisdom that's imparted by some of these plants that take us on more of a journey. Have been used to offer us that deeper understanding of ourselves and our place within the universe. But we don't have to use psychoactive plants to get those experiences. You know, as you've seen, you've all had an experience very easily just with visualizing a plant or a mushroom or a tree. So the plant wisdom also really extends to the kind of symbolic or the metaphoric realms as well. So throughout history, various plants have been revered for their spiritual significance. So, for example, this here is a lotus flower, a dried lotus flower. And in the Eastern spirituality, this was meant to represent purity and enlightenment. Now, this is a beautiful thing to have a tea with. I feel very much like, let me just get it from here. The blue lotus and the mugwort are very similar. They've got similar energies to them, even though they look slightly different. They both have this dropping into feeling, this very soft feminine feeling. So if you're a man and you want to get into your heart more and feel that soft femininity, or if you're a woman and you want to feel that more, then these two, blue lotus and mugwort, and had together, what a combination. You can add rose in there as well, and that's really beautiful. That's like this beautiful feminine energy, the triple goddess energy of the lotus, the rose, and mugwort. Powerful. And it's about this purity, it's about enlightenment, it's about dropping into that feeling of the feminine. And we have within us, as we were talking earlier, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and we need to have this union, this balance of these beautiful energies. It's so important, and the plants can really guide us with that. One of the things I realized when I make lots of different mixtures, superfood mixtures, and what I started to feel when I was making them was the importance of balancing the masculine and the feminine when we make remedies, so that we've got these balances. And sometimes you just want a feminine one, like we were talking about then. Sometimes you just want a masculine one. But for general things, for me, it was like, okay, let's have a masculine one and a feminine. So we've got that counterbalance. We've got those two energies sitting together, like ashwagandha and shatavari. So we're creating these beautiful thrones almost with the plants to honor the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Other plants and trees that have been revered. So in Celtic mythology, the oak tree has been revered as something for strength and wisdom. And what's so beautiful to me is this connection between plants and the human spirit that is so deep. And when you start to listen to old folk stories, there's always this journey, this combining of these beautiful energies, you know, this combining of the plant world with our world. Someone just said, are these wildflowers growing locally, Juliette? So the blue lotus does not grow locally. This comes from Thailand or Egypt or Sri Lanka. The mugwort most definitely grows locally. This mugwort is from my garden, and it has such a beautiful smell. In fact, one of the things I love to do with mugwort is to make smudge sticks. I make smudge sticks with lots of different things. A smudge stick is a beautiful thing I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but mugwort is amazing in smudge sticks. So really lovely thing. So when we're looking at this spiritual connection, this is not a new thing. This is a very old thing. And when we can start to remember and connect back into this ourselves, it's so magical. One of the ways that we can do this is through stories. There's some beautiful books out there that connect into the old, most of them are Irish, you know, the Irish folk stories where they talk about the fairy world, the fae, and how the fae are so linked to, you know, the elementals are linked to the plants, to the flowers, and they communicate through those to us. And I remember when I was little, I grew up with the flower fairy books that was so beautiful. I loved them. You know, and each month you had a different fairy that was on a different flower, talking about the beautiful properties of those flowers and also talking about the seasons. And for me, this is a really important part of plant wisdom, is this remembering of the seasons and the changes and how we interact with that. So one of the things when you look at plant wisdom, when you look at this earth wisdom, is from the very beginnings of time, we have marked these sacred times where there is a change in the earth, there's a change in the energy of the earth. So these are marked by things like coming up, the next one would be the winter solstice on December 21st, where there is this sol means still, the sun is still. So day and night are equal. So we have this stillness. And in the winter solstice, it's a time where we go within. It's a time where there is that darkness, you know, the day is very, very short. You have the shortest day and the longest night. And it's a time when the earth is calling us to hibernate within ourselves, to connect deeply with that inner working. And when you look at the plants around at that time, most plants have gone within. One of the things that I really love is the analogy of the trees and what the trees do. So in the spring, the sun is coming out, the sap is rising in the trees, and the trees feel this desire to expand because they know there is light. So this tree that is bare allows its sap to rise up, and these beautiful branches come out and leaves, buds start to open, and we have a tree that is then covered in leaves. This tree then stands in its magnificence and absorbs the energy of the sun. It absorbs all of this light. And those leaves are there because what they're doing is they're catching the sunlight and they're turning it into food. So they're absorbing that sunlight and allowing that to feed them. Now, this tree is very wise because as the sun starts to lower, what it realizes is that it's going to take more energy to sustain all these leaves out here than they're going to bring in. So what the tree does is it slowly withdraws its energy from the leaves. So it pulls all its energy back into its center. And it allows itself to come back into the trunk so it can store up its energy, so it can stand and wait until it feels that calling to re-emerge. Now, for me, this metaphor, I think, is so beautiful because this is what we should be doing come the winter solstice, pulling our leaves back in. And this period leading up to it is a time of reflection. It's a time of going, what am I putting out there that is no longer serving me? All of nature is constantly communicating to us. It's constantly teaching us. It's constantly giving us lessons if we are there to hear and see. And so with the tree, as it sheds its leaf, the lesson it's giving us is, what are you expending energy on that is not giving you the same internal energy in return? So this is a really important thing to start musing on. What are you putting out? And is that serving you? And then you come into your center and you allow yourself to rest. I have a question for you out there. How many of you allow yourself to rest? Not to sleep, but to rest. To go within, find that still point and rest in it. Please do share in the comments if you allow yourself to rest, deeply rest, or if you feel that calling to rest and you're not doing it right now. Not enough, someone said. I meditate daily and go within. Beautiful. Oh, yes, I do. Brilliant. The resting has always been a battle for me until the tree spoke to me and until I saw what the leaves falling were doing. When I saw that, I got it, and it changed everything. Someone said, I've learned that I have to meditate daily, even if it's only for 10 minutes. I feel the winter caves calling. I do meditate daily and spend time with Mama Cacao. Beautiful. So when we can observe, hopefully that analogy of the tree has been a useful one, because when we rest and go within, I think that lesson of what do we need to cut down on, what are we expending that we don't need to anymore, that reevaluation is so important. Someone said, I love somatic meditations. I feel always to go for a walk, but haven't. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, isn't it? That pull to get out and walk, and yet things get in our way to do it. For me, one of the things that I've made a commitment to do is always to stand barefoot on the earth, even for a few minutes. So I'm always outside having that earth connection. Really, really important for me. I really need it because I do go a lot and I use a lot of energy, and I really need that recharge that the earth gives me. Someone said, great analogy, really resonated. Thank you. I'm pleased. I'm quite a pictorial person. So when I teach and share, I see images, and that's how I learn my lessons. And that's why I think for me, the earth is such a great teacher, because her lessons are visual. They're all around us, you know, like yesterday, before I did the call, seeing the owl and then the hare and then the deer running in front of me was a very deep message, a very profound teaching that the earth was giving me. But I'm not teaching plant wisdom, I'm teaching earth wisdom. So it was a really beautiful message, but I need it visually for it to really sink in, to understand it. So hopefully it helps you guys. So when I was tuning into this evening and what I wanted to share, there are a few plants that really wanted to be communicated about, that really wanted to come forward. And one of them was chamomile, which I mentioned earlier. Now, chamomile's amazing. It's part of the daisy family. In fact, daisies are incredible as well. Daisies are phenomenal. You can eat daisies, and daisies are also very good for bruising. What's very interesting is that daisies are very good for bruising physically, but they're also very good for emotional bruising. And it was very interesting because I didn't realize that. I knew they were good for physical bruising, and I was with my children. This was a while ago. And one of my kids got very upset, and he felt hurt emotionally. And I distracted him with making a daisy chain. And we were sitting making this daisy chain, and I burst out laughing because I suddenly realized that it wasn't just good for physical bruising, it was good for emotional bruising, because I could see the daisy at work on my son's emotional bruising and how making that daisy chain was healing him. And so that was a really amazing thing. And then I went and did some research. And, you know, for me, it's quite nice. I like to have the experiences in my body, in my understanding, in my awareness. And then I like to see if other people have had those experiences and to share that with other people. And sure enough, I then found something that said daisies are very good for emotional bruising. I thought, yes, I saw it, I felt it. So that was a really nice experience. And one of the things that I'm really excited about in my upcoming plant wisdom mentorship, it's actually going to be called Earth Wisdom Mentorship, but is getting people to create their own materia medica. So we're going to be creating a beautiful book, like the book I showed you yesterday, obviously not this old, not with paper like this, where you can have your drawing of the plant and then your description of how the plant works for you. And then we can all share and see what others said, to share that knowledge, because some people will get one bit of nugget of gold and another will get another nugget of gold, and then we can all share that wisdom, which is so exciting. Anyway, sidetrack. So Daisies, chamomile is part of the daisy family, but daisies are just as important as chamomile for this emotional bruising, physical bruising. Again, I put them into my pain balm. Daisies go into the pain balm for, sometimes when we're in pain, it's also emotional pain, isn't it? That's stored within our body. It's really important to get out. So chamomile is incredible, and pineapple weed is a version of chamomile that you can find everywhere. You find it growing in cracks. It's incredible where it grows. And chamomile is very soothing and calming. It allows us to really drop into, again, that feeling, that connection. And I think this is a really important thing that we all look to, is remembering that connection. How can I in my day find ways to come back into myself, to come back into connection? And also then going, well, what takes me out of connection? Generally, it's stress. Fear, stress are probably the two main things that take us out of connection. And so when we work with plants that can help to realign us, it's really important. So chamomile, I've got it growing by my back door, just outside my office. I have chamomile growing. So if I'm feeling a bit stressed or I've been on the computer too long, I can go out and I can just rub the leaves and just smell my hands. And it's so beautiful. And instantly there's this soporific, that's okay then. Don't even need to make a tea with it. It's just that communion, that connection with it, and connection to that smell that's so powerful. And I think one of the things chamomile, why it wanted to come through, is because in these times of stress, chamomile wants us to remind each other to breathe in that beautiful smell. Chamomile wants to remind us to be of service to one another, to allow us to help each other to feel calm and at peace. So that's why chamomile wanted to come through today. So the other plant that really wanted to come through, we had chamomile, and then it was marshmallow. Now, marshmallow, or the mallow family in general, is an incredible, incredible family. So there's common mallow. I'm just seeing, I've got a little picture of it somewhere. Where is that little picture? You can just about see it on there. So that's a drawing of mallow. So mallow, whether it's marshmallow or whether it's common mallow has a beautiful pink flower. And the leaves are delicious and edible, tastes like spinach. And the marshmallow is a beautiful white flower and very soft velvety leaves. Some of you have been to my house for different workshops or retreats and seen and touched the beautiful marshmallow that I've got growing in my garden. I've got common mallow and marshmallow. And I love marshmallow because it is one of the most incredible medicines for so many things. It's like one of those cure-alls. What the marshmallow does with its soft velvety leaves is it's very soothing and calming. Emotionally, it's soothing and calming, but also it's very soothing and calming for our throat, for our gut. It works on all the mucous membranes in the body to create this softness. It's like the velvety, when you feel velvet. I got this beautiful velvet jacket today, and it reminds me a bit of the marshmallow leaves, that softness, when you feel velvet, that softness that you're like, oh, that's so snuggly. The leaves are like that, but when you work with marshmallow, it's doing that all around. It's that, oh, that softness, that snuggliness. But it's also working to relieve coughs, to relieve sore throats, to relieve, as I said, digestive complaints, indigestion, IBS, all of these things. So it's really, really such a beautiful plant. And you can eat the leaves, you can eat the flowers, you can eat the roots. So the root is one of the best things for cough. So I've got a lot of dried root here that I always have on store, because if my kids have a cough, perfect remedy. If someone's got an upset stomach, perfect remedy. Someone I know has colitis, and they came over and their stomach was a bit sore, so I gave them some marshmallow tea and it really soothed that. So a great thing to be able to work with. Someone said, where do you live and hold your workshops? I live in Suffolk, near to Bury St Edmunds. And so I hold a lot of things from my home, where I have a beautiful medicinal herb garden, and run lots of things there. But I also run lots of things online, which I'm going to be talking about shortly. So when we're looking at plant wisdom, when we're looking at really diving into this, there are so many plants, as I said, that are there to guide us. And I could talk and talk and talk about plants, but what's so important that you understand and that you feel is what they are trying to say to you, the ones that are around you, the ones that are all around. Because as I said yesterday, so often the answers to what we need is literally right outside our doorstep. I was running my transformative health mentorship. There was a lady on it, and we were doing hawthorn, and she said, "That's the one I need. I need hawthorn, but I have never seen a hawthorn. Where can I find it?" And I said, "You'll find it within a minute of your house. I know it." She's like, no, because I would have seen it. I've never seen this before. Anyway, I get a message about a minute after the session finished, and right outside her front door, literally like that much from her front door, just set to the side, was, guess what, hawthorn. And it was there waiting for her, but when she was ready, she saw it, and then she was able to start the journey. And she had such a powerful, profound journey when she connected into hawthorn, the heart opener. Really, really beautiful thing. So we've had a few different ways we can connect through our breath, we can connect through visualizing, we can listen to the sounds that all of the trees and the plants are making, and we can feel that resonance within our own body. Obviously we can start to develop a deeper understanding for the plants themselves and how we can work with them. We can dive into them from a herbal point of view. We can dive into them from a nutritional point of view, from that medicinal point of view, from that spiritual point of view. So there are all these different ways that we can connect into them. And I think one of the most important things is growing. Now, some of us don't have space to grow, but we might have a windowsill. Everyone has some space where they can grow something. And having even one plant, even if it's basil on your windowsill, or a chili plant. I've got a chili plant just here, and it keeps going. This is, in fact, let me just show you this. Ooh, if I can lift it, it's heavy. I don't know if you can see. Where is that chili gone? There's a lovely chili in there. This chili has been going for over a year, and it just keeps flowering and giving me chilies. It doesn't give me huge amounts, but it's like a few. So I probably get about 2 a week, which is amazing. And it's just non-stop, because I brought it inside. So it was outside, and then it was inside, and then it was outside, and then it was inside again. So I'm hoping that's going to keep going through the winter and just keep giving me chilies, because I'm giving it love. So having a plant, having something, whether it's outside, whether it's inside, so you start to have this connection with the natural world, going out and foraging. Obviously, as I said yesterday, always cross-referencing what you get, and making sure that you don't just pick something and eat it. You have to make sure you know what you're collecting. And sometimes it's not about eating that thing, it's just about sitting and connecting with it. Someone said, I'd love to have the confidence to grow a medicinal herb garden, but terrified of poisoning myself and my family. I'm afraid of misidentifying plants. Equally, if you buy any herbal plants like violets, most centres that sell them have very clear signs that say they're not edible. So where can you get edible versions of plants? So violets are edible. We don't want hybrids of things. There's a brilliant company, I should have shares in this company because I've recommended it so many times, called Herbal Haven. Now Herbal Haven is an amazing company that's got loads and loads of herbs, great quality herbs, so you can always go to them. They're online, they deliver, and get things. And the thing is about misidentifying, well, if you're growing it yourself, and if you have bought the plant from somewhere like Herbal Havens, it's going to come with a label, and you know what that plant is, so you can't go wrong because you know what that plant is, and you know then how to work with it. But start slowly. It can be very overwhelming, so start with 1 or 2 plants that you can't mistake, You know, some of the best things if you're foraging to forage for are nettles. Stinging nettles are very easy to distinguish. You're not really going to go wrong misidentifying them. You'll know by the sting, and if it doesn't sting, it's not a stinging nettle. So a really good one to start with, stinging nettles. And another great one to start with is plantain. These are two really great plants to start working with. Um, and you slowly grow your confidence and you slowly add to your repertoire of what you're doing. It's not something you'll get instantly overnight, it's a slow build. Someone said, what are dead nettles good for? I have loads. Dead nettles are very good for coughs, amazing for coughs. What I love is the white dead nettle is also known as the archangel, and the yellow one. They're known as the yellow archangel and the white archangel, and I think that's such a beautiful name for it. So really, really lovely, lovely plants. So very good for coughs, again good for the digestive system, but coughs are one of the main things that they're good for. But the leaves are high in nutrients, the flowers have vitamin C, and they've got that lovely taste of honey when you eat them before the bees have got them. But when we are collecting things from nature, it's very important that we have that respect, that we remember that we are earth wisdom keepers. We take on this mantle and say, I'm a protector, I'm part of this earth. So I want to make sure that when I take responsibly, because I know I'm not the only one who wants to have things from this earth. I'm not the only one. I'm part of a huge cycle of beings, whether it's the bees or the beetles or the caterpillars, whoever it is that want to enjoy it. I was growing kale and we ate loads of it, and then the caterpillars took hold, and my husband was like, oh, we should net them. I was like, no, you know what, we've had loads of this kale, now let's let them. It felt like there was a balance because they hadn't got them early. We'd enjoyed a lot of it, so for me that felt like a nice balance. But that was just me. So yes, I'll leave them for the bees, pollinators, bless them. But you can eat some of the leaves, you know, it grows profusely. So you can definitely work with some of them, make a nice tea with them. It's a great thing. So what I want to talk to you guys about now is what I am starting in January, which I'm really, really excited about, is my Earth Wisdom Mentorship. And it's a year-long program. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, so I'm really excited about it. And it's a year-long program where each month we look at a different plant and we dive into a different plant or tree in depth. So there's one session just on one plant, because one of the things I've realized is, you know, I can talk all day about all of these different plants and we can have an understanding of them on a level. But what's so important, whether you do it with me or you just do it yourself, is that we dive into a deep relationship with the plants so that we start to really understand what they are saying, each one slowly. We live in this world where we want to have all this information. We want to work with all these plants, 100 plants all at once. But actually, if you suddenly met 100 friends, you couldn't get to know them all properly. So we have to go into this relationship, and this kind of answers your question, Tracy, with the, you know, that fear of misidentifying and things. When you build a relationship with a plant or a tree or a mushroom, when you sit with it, when you meditate with it, when you drink of it, when you bathe in it, when you connect with it in all these different ways, and you allow it to really wash over you deeply, you start to really get a friendship. So when you see it, it's like seeing an old friend. It's like, oh, hello. Oh, hello, Hawthorne. It's nice to see you. How are you? And that's what I feel when I see certain, I mean, it makes me just well up, just the thought of this beautiful relationship. You know, we can have this beautiful friendship with the trees and the plants and the mushrooms. We can really connect in this way that most of us don't. And it's such a special thing. And this has been done throughout time. People have connected with the trees. People used to gather under the oak tree and they'd sit with their back to the oak tree and they would talk. The communities would build their villages, their settlements when they were traveling around the oak trees, because they knew that oak was there to look after them, to give them that strength and wisdom, and to be their grandfather. And so when you look at things like the Celtic, what's the word I'm looking for? Celtic, not mythology, the Celtic way of being, each month has a different tree, because they saw the importance and the role of the seasons and the trees and how those trees represented that month. So we're going to be going into different trees and plants. And if you want to find out more about what ones we're specifically going to cover, it's all on my website. Let me just put the link up so you can have a look at it. There is a beautiful drawing that I had done. I didn't do it because I'm not good at creating things, but I said what I wanted. I created a beautiful circle with these different plants that called to me. Oh, sorry, I've sent it to someone directly. I'm not sure why that happened. Meeting group chat. There we go. It's a beautiful image. And you know, one of the things in this Earth Wisdom mentorship is not just looking at the plants, but looking at how the plants and us relate seasonally, looking at how we can make medicines like the smudge sticks or wands. Look at this beautiful wand here. This is going to be an amazing wand. This is from a cherry tree, and I'm really excited about that. Look at that beautiful twist in there, and how the crystals and the sounds and the plants all work together, so we can work with the same frequency in different forms. For me, that's such an exciting thing. And how we can become really embodiments of the earth, and how we can learn to make medicines. You know, this for me, you know, is something that has filled my life with so much joy. When I learned how to make a balm, you know, when I learned how to make a tincture, when I taught myself all these different tools. And I know some of you are making these things already, and it's so exciting when you can empower yourself into health, into well-being, and you go, I've got a remedy for that. I've got dried marshmallow root. I've got some hawthorn berries. We can make a tincture. We can make a tea. You know, there's remedies for everything. And that for me is so exciting. That really embodiment of that knowledge and that wisdom. And it's a very small group that I'm holding this for. So it's not going to be for everyone. But for those of you who are feel the call to it, you can pay over the 12 months. There are some concession places if people need that. And there is one free scholarship space. So if you're sitting here thinking, I'd love to do it, but I don't have access to funds, then please message me and just write a paragraph to me about why you really feel the call to do this. Because as I said, on all my courses, on everything I do, I offer one scholarship space on everything, because I want this to be accessible to people who are really thirsty for that knowledge. So yeah, if you are interested in this, then do send me a message on that. Someone said, I used to sit under an oak tree so frequently opposite where I lived in the field. There was a beautiful old oak tree. They're so grounding. They're so grounding. They have such a beautiful presence to them. And I think anyone who sat by the oak can feel that presence. We were out the other day, and these oak trees were, it was quite magical, because these oak trees, huge oak trees, were in Ickworth Park, were speaking to me. They were really sharing their wisdom. I don't know what they were saying. I could just feel these downloads. And then I said, oh, Giles, will you take a picture? And I put my arms up, and I could feel them singing to me and talking to me, and the light. Just wondering if I can show you guys this picture. The light that was dancing on my hand was absolutely incredible, and I could feel it. I could feel, and people say, well, it's just the sunlight, you know, reflecting, but I really felt the magic of them dancing off my fingers. I'm just going to see if I can share my screen and show you guys this. Share screen. Okay, have a look at this. Can you see that? Can you see those beautiful orbs off my fingers? So I'm stood between, three oak trees around me, and the light was coming down above my head, and I could feel my hands buzzing with the energy of the trees. And then Giles took the picture and we saw that, and I just thought that's amazing, because it feels like the three oak trees, the spirits, the energy of those oak trees there. Can everyone see that? Amazing, isn't it? Sometimes I think what pictures can pick up is more than our human eye can sometimes see, but sometimes we can feel it, you know. So often we can see these orbs in a photograph, but we could feel something when we took the picture. But the photos show it. I just want to show you guys one other thing. Here we go. So this is the wheel of what we're looking at over the year. So January, we start on Rosemary, the Rememberer. And February is Blackthorn, the Protector. March is Nettle, the Revitalizer. April is Dandelion, the Light Bringer. May is Hawthorn, the Heart Opener. June is Calendula, the Uplifter. July is Rose, the Lover. August is Mugwort, the Traveller. September is Elder, the Wisdom Spreader. I hope you like the names that they communicated with me. I think they're really evocative of what they are and how they want to work. October is Apple, the Health Giver. November is Hemp, the Provider, and December is Pine, the Celebrator. So some really beautiful plants and trees that are coming through that are going to be shared on this mentorship. So does anyone have any questions? If you want to unmute or type your questions, then please do. If you have any questions about what I've been talking about, or about the mentorship, or anything that we've covered in the last 2 days, please feel free to ask.
Hi, we're together at a cat's house, and I was just and I was just wondering. You said about the beautiful tea, the blue lotus, the mugwort, and the rose. So, is it petals that we would get from that lovely place you recommended, or would it be a flower essence drops? What would be the best way of making that?
So for me, I would make it with the flowers themselves dried. So I would get, so I've got a massive big store of rose petals that I've collected and dried, that I use for the bath, that I use for teas, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So obviously you can't collect them right now, but you can have this in mind for later, and you can always buy some rose petals that you can make sure they're edible ones, not just for decoration, that you can make these things with yourself. There's something very beautiful about combining them and making kind of teas yourself, like, even if it's things that you've bought, but still having that process of putting your energy into that, because that's such a beautiful thing. Mugwort, again, you can buy mugwort, or there is still mugwort out. My garden is filled with mugwort. I've got tons of dried mugwort. I can always send you some if you want.
Thank you.
So you can, yeah, and the blue lotus you'll have to buy. You can't find that any other way, but you can get the dried flowers of them. And then you can sit and make them into a beautiful a tea for yourself. And you can always put in any other things that call to you that want to go in there as well. You don't have to just follow my recommendation.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
There's someone asked a question in the chat. And it says, my daughter, when she was 3, picked up an acorn off the roadside at the bottom of our street from a massive oak tree. She asked if we can grow it. It germinated after a year of being in my fridge, has been transferred every year to a bigger pot. Its stem has curved into an S shape. Her name begins with an S. Wow. She's now 13 and knows that when she moves to her home one day, she will plant it in her garden. Wow. That's so beautiful. The oak tree is following her and following her life. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful. That's brought tears to my eyes. Thank you. Someone said, how much is the course? The course is £3,000 over a year. So that can be paid in monthly installments over the year, it can be paid in monthly installments over 15 months. If you are on concessions, the concessionary rate is £1,800, which again can be paid over the year. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Does anyone else have a question? If they want to unmute themselves, they can, or if you want to type it in the chat. Andrew.
Hello, Juliette.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for everything this evening and everyone else being here. I saw your photograph with the oak trees and the orbs on your hand. I nearly wrote something on Facebook, but I'm glad I've had this opportunity to say now. It was a few years ago. I do have some photos somewhere. I was out in the woods with my partner and we had our hands out. It was really, really still, extremely misty. And I always connecting with everything around us. It was quite a thick forest. And the mist was twirling like vortices on our hands and on different parts of our bodies. And I said, oh, let's see if we can ask it something. And it would change its shape and move around. So I truly believe that photo of yours.
Yeah, amazing.
And
That's
to have the photos as well. And if we moved, it moved with us. It was, you couldn't, not many people would believe it. But I feel like I can tell yourself and other people here.
Beautiful. I was doing a women's circle for a friend's birthday a few years ago, and we went into the woods, and I said, the fairies are everywhere. Can everyone feel them? And people are like, I'm not sure what the fairies feel like. I was like, honestly, they're everywhere. Just tune in and put your hands out. And then we took photos, and the amount of light. So when you press the flash, all of these things were flying around, all around our hands, all around us. I mean, there were so many orbs, fairies, whatever you want to call them. It was absolutely incredible. It was phenomenal. And I think when you've experienced the elements of the earth, you can't forget that. Someone said, how intense is the course? Is it one evening a week, and can it be accessed online so as to catch up if we can't make an evening? Great question. So the course is 2 sessions a month. So it's on a Tuesday evening. They're all recorded. And then you have a group. It's on Wix, and it's also going to be on Facebook. There's going to be a Facebook group and a Wix group. So you can ask your questions, you can communicate with me, you can communicate with each other. So there's that. Each month I'm going to send out something. So for January, we're doing rosemary. So everyone's going to get a smudge stick and also learn how to do that smudge stick themselves. So it's all... yes, so you have your 2 sessions a month plus the support group, and you get then handouts as well. So there's lots of other information that you get to support it all as well. Someone said, thank you so much, Juliette. I've enjoyed this 2-part masterclass. It has awakened an interest in plants, herbs and flowers as natural medicine for us. Thank you. I'm so grateful to be part of this learning. I'll be ordering the mushroom tincture. Thank you so much for coming. It was really beautiful to have your energy in it. Someone said, you are a powerhouse of information, Juliette. Your knowledge is incredible. Thank you. Oh, thank you. That's really, really kind. Does anyone else have any questions? A dandelion screaming at the sun. Do you know what that energy is? A dandelion screaming at the sun. I don't understand what you mean by that. Do you know what that energy is? Not sure what you mean by that. If you want to unmute and explain that, then that would be great, because I don't quite get that. Someone said, it's been amazing. Thank you. My pleasure. It's been really lovely to share. Someone just said, can you say more about the mushroom tincture? Yes. So my mushroom tincture, I actually created for my son. My son had a lot of mental health issues and really struggled from lockdown. It caused him a lot of problems, and I created the mushroom tincture for him. He was diagnosed with severe OCD and anxiety, and it was crippling at one point. And now I think, you know, not just thanks to the mushroom tincture, but largely thanks to the mushroom tincture, he's back at school. He's doing amazingly. You know, you wouldn't know that he had any of these things that had stopped him living his life. So mushrooms are super powerful. For some of you, you've come to a lot of my talks and you know that I'm really vibing about mushrooms. Their power is absolutely phenomenal. And I've worked now with over 200 families, all who've used the mushroom tincture to help and support children and grown-ups now as well, with who are on the spectrum or who have anxiety, depression. I mean, I don't have those things, but I take it every day. And it's really, really helpful. I have some online foraging courses. Someone just said, do you have foraging courses that you can access the recordings to? And on the Plant Wisdom Mentorship, we're really going to be looking at the foraging side of things, what else is around each month. So it's a seasonal guide, an earth connection guide, healing, meditation, remedies, all of those things. So it's very, very full and encompassing. But the link I've sent you guys on there will tell you more about that. I'd be interested in foraging. Lovely. So does anyone else have any questions? Thank you so much, Juliette. So interesting as always. Your knowledge is incredible. Thank you. Any last questions before we finish?
Just wanted to say thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you. Lovely to have you guys on it. Thank you. Beautiful. So thank you guys all for being here. It's been really lovely sharing this knowledge with you guys. And if you do want to take it to the next step, then please do check out my Plant Wisdom Mentorship. And if anyone wants a call with me to go into that further to see if it's for them, then that's great. Otherwise, do look on my website. I've got lots of recipes. I've got lots of videos on my YouTube, so you can subscribe to that to see me talking about lots of different subjects. And also you can listen to me on my radio station, which is kindasound.org. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. I do a show, so do check that out as well. So thank you again for being here. It's been a real pleasure sharing the last 2 evenings with you all, and hope to see you soon. Lots of love.
Thank you so much, Juliette. I've so enjoyed it. I'm sure most of us have too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Bless
Thank
you.